Good morning. Monday morning, work day. Rather sadly, Charlotte couldn't use the car park there because it's one of these with a ANPR, and if you stay longer than 3 hours, they charge you £100. There you are. So it's even more expensive than NCP. But what a beautiful morning. We are chugging off today to somewhere, I don't know, further on, mooring up, and then we're actually going back to Sheffield tonight. Apparently, I just drive. I'm just the chauffeur. But on a day like this, who cares? It's lovely. Lancashire, boys and girls. Is that pretty? Sharing about the duckweed and stuff, but isn't that lovely? Oh yes. We'll let them have red rose for that, shall we? Not sure what that is, but it's quite an interesting set of ruins. I don't know if we can actually get a better picture of it. It's like some kilns or something. I suppose that's possible. We're in that sort of area, aren't we? But should have got some footage of it before passing. Would have been a good idea. But you know what it's like. You're just drifting along and your mind turns to mush, and then you notice these things and suddenly it's too late to film them. I can only imagine that's a commissioned piece, as is that one. How lovely. Whoever commissioned it. It won't be Canal and River Trust because it's not full of kingfishers and bumblebees and stuff. But lovely all the same, look. Whoever commissioned that, full marks. Whoever painted it, even fuller marks. No idea what it is. The building, obviously. But what a superb piece of artwork on the side. Still seems like quite a long way. So we've done what? 20 miles in. When did I do the last mile marker? Can't remember. Anyway, and it's lovely, but it's hard work in places because it's really, really shallow, like seriously shallow. And just coming through, there's a bridge just around there. Just coming through the bridge, you've got to get your line right to get through the bridge. And even then, caught the side, and it really is getting to the start. I mean, the thing is, these used to be like really nicely, fairly deep channel commercial canals, obviously, because they had to be. And then the Canal and River Trust sold off all their dredgers and rely on private contractors that they never asked to come and do the maintenance. So that's why all these canals are turning into muddy ditches. And the other problem with them being shallow, obviously, is you end up picking up a lot of crap on the propeller. So what with the weeds on the rudder and the shit on the propeller, It is lovely here now. And when you got a day like this, it doesn't really matter right much. If it was pissing down with rain and we had to go in the weed, then oof. What's up, Pickle? Oh God. So get that line. That's it. And try and stay as much as possible in the centre of the channel. And this is about as fast as I dare go. The more power you put in the back, it pushes your stern, that's what we call that bit there, deeper into the water, and you just end up rubbing along the bottom. So the extra power doesn't actually give you any extra speed. All it does is dig you in at the bottom and increase your risk of picking up some crap that's sat on the bottom, as we have seen on numerous occasions during this trip. Just come around because there's a big clump of crap there, and there's bits of crap there as well. Come around to get into centre channel. Yeah, I can feel it. I can still feel it. I can feel running down the side here a little bit. That is crazy. Because I'm more over to this side than really I should be. Can you hear it? Sort of almost hear it rubbing on bottom. Bloody hell. That's dire. I don't know. I think I might have measured wrong when we first set off. I've no idea how these mile things work. I really don't. But then I never know where I am anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's perfect timing, mate. Oh, he's not going. Good. Seems quite low in the water. I still can't get used to these lifeboat pod things. You see them all over the place. I don't want to sound, oh no, I'm going to sound, aren't I? I'm going to sound a bit rivet countery, but they're really fucking ugly. And I don't know. 50 persons lifeboat number 2. 50 people. Can you imagine? Just imagine for a moment. Imagine 50 people in there. Like 50 people. God. I think that's a floating dry dock, that. They sink it, you sail your boat in, and then they raise it, pump all the water out. There you go. Floating dry dock, well done. Don't know where we are. I think we're sort of near Burnley-ish, I think. How Canal and River Trust get on with floating dry docks? probably not very well, I'd imagine. I can't imagine them being particularly fond of them. They probably say that you've got to clean them all out before you then flood them again in case you pollute the waterway, which is good. However, they'd wrap that all up in health and safety, method statements, environmental impact surveys, risk assessments, and then they'd want that repeating about every 3 months, thus making it economically impossible. And that's what they do. That's how they put an end to waterway businesses. There was a problem at West Stockwith. If you remember, West Stockwith is where we had this old girl had her bottom blacked, and that's where I identified there were some pit marks I weren't happy with. Well, there always used to be, I can't remember his name now, Mick, whatever, who sold diesel and stuff from there. And Canal and River Trust made his selling diesel so difficult, he just said, oh well, fuck it, I've had enough. What that actually means is there's nowhere on the Chesterfield Canal for boaters to get diesel. Now, the Chesterfield Canal, to get to the Chesterfield Canal, you either have to come up from Cromwell or whatever, downstream on the Trent, or go upstream on the Trent from Kidby. So if we're going to do the Chesterfield Canal, we'll go from Kidby down to West Stockwith. The last place we'll have been able to fill up with fuel will be Thorn. So if you're going to do a proper little trip, you go Thorn, up the Trent, into West Stockwith, you then do the Chesterfield Canal. If you're going to make a proper little jaunt of it, that's a couple of weeks, because it's nice, is the Chesterfield Canal. The problem is you've used up pretty much the bulk of your fuel. You then need to go either upstream towards Cromwell or downstream towards Kidby, and if anything goes wrong, you've had it. You need that extra fuel as a safeguard. So what the Canal and River Trust have done by putting so many barriers in the way is they've restricted the amount of boats that will be going to the Chesterfield Canal. Right, shouldn't really have looked at that. That's depressed me even more now. Right, anyway, we're headed towards Burnley. I'm fairly sure we're headed towards Burnley, and most of this run is it's kind of like embankment looking down, and it's nice. I do like it, even though Canal and River Trust have in their wisdom closed off the majority of the towpath. Noticed yesterday they didn't close it off where it was all crumbling into the canal. So anyway, yes, if you're thinking of doing the Chesterfield Canal, forget it, because there's no way you can get diesel there unless you've got someone who's going to turn up with jerry cans. And that was the main reason why Tony, who ran the Chesterfield hire company, you know, they had 2 boats. Shut up, I'm making a video. Had 2 hire boats on the Chesterfield Canal, and I think he just had enough. He'd had enough of Canal and River Trust trying to bend him over and take him from behind. He'd had enough of insurance companies just being what insurance companies are, and eventually when Canal and River Trust made it impossible for him to get diesel, and he had to start bringing jerry cans to do it, and then carrying them on and off the boat, and yeah, it's awful. So this is why we are seeing the eradication of smaller businesses from the canal network. It's just not viable anymore. And then the bigger companies, of course, then have a stranglehold on it, which is why your Black Prince, sorry, none shall pass. That's the Black Knight, Black Prince, Anglo Welsh. They can get away with charging £1,500, £2,000 a week peak season. And then what the other byproduct of that is the illegal hirers. I've lost count of how many we've encountered on this trip, but they don't even try to hide it now. So, and you can always tell, it's easy enough. You just check whether they've got a leisure business licence. And I put the blame for all that firmly with the Canal and River Trust. The deterioration of the waterways, the lack of maintenance, the over-reliance on volunteers. And they lied in their annual report that they sent to the Charities Commission. They agreed one version, and then they altered it to make it look like they hadn't failed on one of their objectives, and sent that off to the Charities Commission. They just can't be trusted. And I keep coming back to this time and time again. Dealing with Canal and River Trust was the preeminent reason that we decided to jack all this in. And the less we have to do with them, the better. But nobody cares. It's because we've had the rage and the anger leached out of us by continual fuckwittery. And when you've got a Prime Minister who just lies through his teeth because he can, and it gets to the stage where people go, oh, Boris has just lied again. Alright, what's for tea? Nobody cares. It is just incredibly depressing what we have allowed to happen. I'm going to stop now before I want to slash my wrists. Is that right, Marley? See? Even Marley's immune to it now. Canal and River Trust fucked up. Oh well, never mind. Canal and River Trust just sees someone else's boat because they didn't move for 9 days when they should have moved at 7. Oh well, never mind. Canal and River Trust just lied in their report that they sent to the Charities Commission. Oh well, never mind. Canal and River Trust trying to put another business out of business. Oh well, it's just that. Yeah, do you want chips with your tea? Yeah, alright then. Have we got any brown sauce? Oh, alright then, okay. The thing with sunken boats like that very often is any oil or remaining diesel or whatever does end up in cut. And the other thing is, Canal and River Trust very rarely do anything about boats like that. It takes them an absolute eon to do anything about boats like that. Enjoying those, Marley? It's a sort of like a wide BCN. Which I'm guessing is actually a, I don't know, a Leeds Liverpool flyboat. Can't remember what they're called, short boat. It's alright though, isn't it? Plenty of room in there. So we're at headed towards Burnley. I don't know where we are. 12:30. We're going to need to moor up for, I think, 2:30, because the boss has a Zoom meeting or a Teams meeting, and we'll need to have a stable interweb signal. So we'll moor up probably sometime around 2, whenever we've got a good signal with, well, actually, do you know, here's the thing. Sometimes when we've just got a sort of like H+ signal, we've actually had a really good data throughput, and then occasionally, you know, you get a 4G and it's absolutely shite. And and it's down to contention, obviously, and the carrier, whether the carrier is any good or not. But we shall see what we find where we moor. We're not at Rishton. We passed Rishton 4 and a bit hours, 2 and a bit hours ago. Couldn't have passed anything 4 and a bit hours ago. I think I was still in bed. And what a glorious day this has turned out to be. How lovely. Might get me boobs out. That's a bit lovely. This is Burnley. I think we've just been under the, I thought it said M65. Somewhere back there. It might not have been the M65. But Burnley's, it's not too shabby, canal wise. Oh, Burnley. I just stopped off at somewhere called Rose something or other. What's it? Which is rather nice, moored in the sun. Charlotte did a meeting, whatever it was. Yeah, can't really fault this. Well, motorway bridges, obviously. But now we've got a tunnel. Granted, not the most interesting of tunnels, which is why I didn't video much of it. One observation was we went in sunshine, and we come out with sun behind clouds. Oh no, here we go. Brilliant, that's good, we've got the sun back again. We haven't got an awful lot more cruising to do today. Charlotte's booked us into a marina for 4 nights because she's got to go back to Sheffield to do work. So I don't know where it is. It's somewhere near Nelson, I know that. And it's 16 quid a night plus electricity. So far, I think that puts it at the top of our costly marina list. So Better be bloody good. Oh, there's electricity on top. Did I mention? Yeah, I did. Plus electricity. Don't need a lot of electricity, it's just to keep the batteries topped up. But still bloody expensive. Sun's gone in again. Oh well. But this side of the Leeds-Liverpool isn't anywhere near as busy or picturesque as t'other side at Summit, or I think realistically on the other side of Foulridge Tunnel, which we will be doing on Friday. Doing my usual thing of eyeing up the slightly neglected, although I suppose it's got some cell phone aerial stuck on it. It still has a purpose. Smell of coal burning. Might have a boat around a bend, or someone at their house maybe, I don't know. There was a time when it was probably prime time TV viewing where there was someone called Fred Dibner who would climb chimneys like that, very often without a safety harness or any of those working above ground regulations that nasty Johnny Foreigner forced upon us to save lives and stuff. I hate to see that. I really do hate to see that. I don't even need to read what it's about. But I suspect it will have been totally avoidable. And sometimes we have to face up to the fact that the services that we have for people in times of crisis are absolutely shit. I can't imagine, well I can imagine, because I suppose like a lot of people, I've been to some very, very dark places, but to actually stand there, look down at that motorway below and jump, for things to be that bad. And we need, quite literally, a metaphoric safety net. We need something to catch people before they make that final, literally final decision. And I firmly believe it is avoidable, but we don't treat mental health in the same way that we treat physical health. So we need support services, but we also need to challenge the things that drive people to those extremes. The extreme of taking our own life. That extreme. And things lead up to that, whether it's, I'm not gonna say about shallow, really, really shallow canals, but we're running on the bottom at the moment. all of the constructs of our world, all the things that we think should be good about being human, for not to be there, for someone to feel that the only course of action is to jump off that bridge. As a race, I think we've got to get a fucking grip. It's upset me a bit, as you can tell. Doesn't look like anyone's too bothered about fixing that, does it? There's a nice touch. All these mooring rings along here, painted white. That is a nice touch. None of them are being used. And this is a nice touch as well. Proper canal side warehouse. And these canopies were designed for protecting the cargo as it was unloaded. Now obviously going to be posh offices, and there's no doubt a bar in there somewhere. Oh yes, look, so there is, in on the wharf. But at least the building's still there. That's bobbins, that is. We've got slightly less than 2 miles to go. And what a beautiful evening. I'm sort of calling it evening, it's not actually evening yet. It's 3 minutes to 5, so almost evening. Late afternoon, evening. But just look how idyllic this little scene is. So it's just sort of on the outskirts of Burnley, I suppose. And yeah, got some sunshine. We got some nice warm weather with no wind. This is what boating should be about. I love it. That wheelhouse has seen better days, as has the rest of the boat. This is it now. This is our final straight. What's that? Oh, Marley's not happy. He hasn't had a massive walk today, so I might take him for a little stroll while Charlotte goes back to collect the car. We did arrive about 5 o'clock, 5:30. So that's the canal over there, and then the entrance to the marinas here. So there's a big clump of weed there, obviously, so I just managed to spin it nicely in, turn, in, turn, in, and didn't bump into anything, which I think is a bit of a result for me. So yeah, my helmsmanship seems to be I'm not gonna say it, because you know what'll happen. What'll happen is, as I'm leaving, I'll pull out, I'll swing around, ready to go out, and then I'll bash into that, and then to this one here, Fernal. Lovely girl on there, by the way. So yes, Leeds Liverpool by Burnley. Back Thursday night, Friday, head towards Skipton. A bit of a longer day than we thought, especially for Charlotte. She apparently has got quite a long cycle back, so I'm not sure what we're going to end up doing for food tonight. I rather suspect it'll be another motorway service station jobby. Oh Christ. But we will see, because I don't think we're going to oh, what's up, Marley pup? Oh. I don't think we're going to be leaving here probably until about 8:30. It's about an hour and a half's drive. Not to worry. That's what it's all about when you're out for the summer. So for now, I think that's it. Hope you've enjoyed today. It's been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Can't fault it. So until the next thrilling instalment, whatever you're doing, do it safely, look after yourself, and like really look after everybody else that you care about as well, because bridges over motorways don't need fucking flowers. They really don't. And that really could have been any of us. So let's all try and make sure that it's none of us, eh? Take care. Cheers. Half past 6 the following morning. It took Charlotte a lot longer to get back to the car and then bring the car back here, so we stayed here last night, but she's got to be at work for just after 9, so we're leaving now.